A legal complaint alleging inhumane conditions at the Broadview Immigration Processing Center is now a class action lawsuit.
That means a suit on behalf of two people could impact more than 1,000 detainees. WGN's Mike Lowe is joining us, and what's in that lawsuit is very important because, as we're talking about, could be 1,000 people that are impacted.
A lot of people stand to be impacted by what happens in these two lawsuits. Good evening to both of you. The federal judge has now recognized the Broadview detainees as a group having similar legal claims. The class action status consolidates all of their cases into one and potentially gives them all access to justice.
The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Processing Center in Broadview has served as the visible flashpoint between protesters and federal agents.
Get him, get him, get him, get him, back! Get back!
During the Trump administration's deportation campaign known as Operation Midway Blitz.
Why is he being detained?
Inside the facility, away from public view, the detainees themselves are taking a stand against what they allege are inhumane conditions.
The judge recognizes that this is a short-term facility, but also that people need to be held in constitutional conditions.
Pablo Moreno Gonzalez and Felipe Agustin Zamacona, who appeared on video in court, were detained in October. They filed a suit alleging deplorable conditions in the Broadview facility. The original complaint accused the U.S. Department of Homeland Security of holding detainees in filthy, overcrowded holding cells without adequate food or water, bedding or medication, no showers, and unsanitary toilets. They also allege federal agents pressured detainees into signing away their rights while denying access to attorneys. On November 5th, U.S. Circuit Court Judge Robert Gettleman ordered a temporary restraining order forcing the government to address the conditions. Last week, attorneys for those detained were the first to tour the facility with U.S. Magistrate Judge Laura McNally. Government lawyers argued that the cases of Gonzalez and Zamacona don't represent everyone who's been held in the facility because some detainees are at Broadview for a few hours and others for a few days, and that all detainees have not suffered the same injury. But Judge Gettleman wasn't persuaded and handed a win to the detainees, ruling that the two cases are indeed representative of the hundreds of others. He said he granted the class action status because of the conditions of their confinement, systematic lack of access to counsel, a practice of pressuring detainees into signing legal documents, and he added that the proposed class likely contains over 1,000 individuals.
And at a hearing today, Justice Department lawyers said that only 4 detainees remain inside of the Broadview facility. That's a sign of how Border Patrol agents have shifted their focus from Chicago to their next location, which is Charlotte, North Carolina.
And the same tactics being used there that we've seen here.
National reports show almost the same exact things going on there that we in Chicago experienced over the last 2 months of Operation Midway Blitz.
We'll see how these cases turn out. Mike, appreciate it.